What if everything we think we know about our origins is just incomplete? For as long as we've existed, we've stared up at the stars and asked, are we alone? But maybe the real question isn't whether there's life out there, but whether we are the life that came from out there. Are we the aliens? We're told our story is a slow, patient climb on Earth, from primate ancestors to the clever apes running the planet today. But what if that story has some glaring holes in it? Holes that science, for all its brilliance, hasn't quite filled. Think about the sudden, baffling acceleration of intelligence and creativity in our ancestors, or the ancient structures built with a precision that makes you wonder how they did it. And then there's a single, unique chromosome in our DNA that sets us apart from every other primate, the result of a freak fusion event that changed our history forever. This is where a wild theory comes in. It's one that mainstream science considers pseudoscience, but it just refuses to go away. The idea that we weren't just born on Earth, but were seeded or guided here by an advanced, extraterrestrial intelligence. To even entertain this idea, we have to look at the anomalies in our own history that don't quite fit the neat and tidy narrative. For hundreds of thousands of years, our Homo sapiens ancestors used pretty simple tools. Their brains were our size, but their culture and tech moved at a crawl. Then, starting around 50 years ago, something kicked into high gear. This period used to be called the Great Leap Forward. All of a sudden, art, complex language, sophisticated weapons, and spirituality seemed to burst onto the scene. While newer findings suggest this was more of a gradual accumulation of skills, the acceleration is still staggering. What lit that creative fire in the human mind? Was it just slow burn evolution, or did something give it a push? Then you have the monuments. From the mind-boggling megaliths of Pumapunku to the Great Pyramid of Giza, these structures were built with a mastery that still inspires awe. Now, mainstream archaeology has proposed plausible construction methods using the tools they had. And yet, the sheer scale and precision have led some to wonder if ancient people had a little help if they were working with knowledge that didn't come from Earth. These questions, these apparent gaps between known skill and visible achievement, are what open the door for more speculative ideas. But maybe the biggest clue isn't in stone at all. Maybe it's written in our blood. The blueprint of life, our DNA, holds a fascinating secret. We have 46 chromosomes in 23 pairs. Our closest living relatives, the great apes, have 48. The difference is human chromosome 2. Scientists have shown that this chromosome is the result of two ancestral ape chromosomes fusing together, end to end. You can still see the genetic scars, the remnants of the fused ends, and a deactivated second centromere. Now, mainstream science sees this as powerful proof of our shared ancestry with apes, a natural, though rare, evolutionary event. And these kinds of fusions, while uncommon, do happen in nature. Proponents of alien intervention, however, see it differently. They ask, what are the odds of such a specific, successful fusion happening by pure chance? To them, this dramatic mutation feels almost too perfect, too precise. Was it just a lucky roll of the evolutionary dice? Or, as some fringe theories suggest, could it be the signature of a genetic engineer, a fingerprint left by a cosmic creator? It's a provocative thought that, while not supported by scientific evidence, definitely pushes the boundaries of how we see ourselves. We're about to get into a real scientific hypothesis that could connect these dots, one that suggests life itself travels the cosmos. If you find these questions as fascinating as I do, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss what's next. And let me know in the comments, what's the one anomaly in human history that makes you wonder? Before we can even consider that we are aliens, we have to accept that any life on Earth could be. This brings us to a legitimate, though still unproven, scientific hypothesis called panspermia. The core idea is simple: life, or at least its starter kit, didn't begin on Earth. It was delivered from space on cosmic taxis like asteroids or comets. This isn't just sci-fi. We've found complex organic molecules, the ingredients for life on meteorites that have landed here. Experiments on the International Space Station have even shown that some microbes can survive the vacuum and radiation of space for years. This suggests it's at least plausible for life to survive a trip between planets. But there's a more radical version of this, proposed by none other than Francis Crick, the Nobel laureate who co-discovered DNA's double helix structure. He and chemist Leslie Orgel floated the idea of directed panspermia. This version says life didn't just stumble here, it was sent deliberately by an intelligent alien civilization. Crick knew it was speculative, but the fact that a scientist of his caliber even proposed it gives the idea a little intellectual weight. Could it be that billions of years ago some distant intelligence seeded our young planet, hoping it would one day evolve into something complex, like us? If an advanced civilization did have a hand in our story, wouldn't there be some record of it? Wouldn't our ancestors have passed down stories about their creators? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and that those records are hiding in plain sight in our myths and religious texts. Almost every ancient culture has a creation myth about powerful beings coming down from the sky to create or teach humanity. From the sky gods of the Maya to the star people in Native American lore, the theme pops up everywhere. The most famous example comes from ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, who gave us writing, law, and timekeeping, wrote about powerful beings they called the Anunnaki, who they said came from the heavens to rule Earth. Now, to be crystal clear, mainstream scholars and historians overwhelmingly agree these texts are complex religious mythology. The Anunnaki were gods, central to the Sumerian faith, not biological aliens. But fringe theories, popularized by authors like Zecharia Sitchin, suggest a radical rereading. Sitchin argued these weren't myths but historical records of extraterrestrials from a planet called Nibiru, who came here to mine gold and, needing workers, genetically engineered early humans. While this interpretation is flatly rejected by experts, it has become a cornerstone of the modern belief that our creators came from another world. So, what happens when you lay all the pieces out? A sudden acceleration in human culture, a unique chromosome fusion that sets us apart, megalithic structures that strain our understanding of ancient capabilities, and global stories of creators from the stars. Viewed on their own, each of these has a conventional, scientific explanation, but when you line them all up, you can weave them into a single, tantalizing story. This is the core appeal of the ancient alien theory. It offers one grand solution to a bunch of different mysteries. However, it's vital to remember that this is storytelling, not science. There is no credible, direct evidence that aliens visited Earth or tinkered with human evolution. Mainstream science offers robust, evidence-based explanations for our origins that don't need alien intervention. The theory remains firmly in the realm of pseudoscience. And yet, the idea sticks around. It thrives in books, on TV, and in our own curiosity. It speaks to a deep human need to feel like our existence isn't just an accident, that our story is part of a much larger, cosmic drama. So, after all that, we're left at a crossroads. The facts and the theories are on the table. Do you see a series of unrelated anomalies, each with its own perfectly earthly explanation? Or do you see a pattern, a trail of breadcrumbs leading back to the stars? Are we simply the primates who got lucky on a lonely planet, evolving through a series of fortunate events? Or is our story bigger and more cosmic than we've been led to believe? Are we the living legacy of a forgotten alien past? For now, the answer is still out there.